But first this hour, a federal judge is holding a hearing in Florida today to discuss the affidavit supporting the search warrant executed at Mar-a-Lago.
Many of the nation's largest media outlets, including CBS News, are arguing for its release. The U.S. Justice Department is against it, saying the ongoing investigation could be put into jeopardy. FBI agents searched former President Trump's Florida estate last week and retrieved 11 boxes of materials. The DOJ agreed to release the actual search warrant, but wants the affidavit to remain sealed.
Joining us now is CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge and CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joining us from Washington. Welcome to you both. Catherine, I'll begin with you. On what basis are media companies, including us at CBS, arguing to unseal this affidavit? What additional information could it reveal?
Well, Errol, the media companies are arguing that there really is an acute public interest and that in this particular case, the search of a former president's residence, there really has to be the highest level of transparency. And their court filing reads in part, the public has a clear and powerful interest in understanding the unprecedented investigation into former President Donald J. Trump's handling of classified records. And it continues, the affidavit should be released with only those redactions that are necessary to protect a compelling interest articulated by the government. So, in layman's terms, if there is a full or partial release of this affidavit and sections are blacked out or redacted by the government, it should only be for information that is highly sensitive or has an investigative or national security implication.
All right, so then, Scott, what is the government's position here? On what basis is the Justice Department opposing the document's release?
Elaine, this is kind of their baseline position whenever they're asked to release an affidavit ahead of a case being filed. They tend not to want to do those things because it compromises investigations. In this singular case, earlier this week, they filed a court motion in Florida saying revealing the specific content of this affidavit would, quote, alter the investigation's trajectory, reveal ongoing and future investigative efforts. It also would be highly likely to compromise future investigative steps. But also, they say it could have devastating consequences for any person, any individual whose actions are described in the affidavit. They want to keep secret what they think they need to keep secret. But I want to emphasize, Errol and Elaine, this is their default position when they're asked by defense lawyers in other criminal cases to unseal affidavits earlier than they want to.
So you've got those competing interests then, right? A compelling public interest to know what's in the documents the government says is key to why it had to get access to former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate versus this potential compromising of the ongoing probe. Catherine, what are the possible outcomes then of this hearing? Is there any kind of more of a middle ground where it's released with those redactions?
Well, there could be, Errol, a middle ground, and the media organizations are asking the judge to consider a redacted version that's done by the Justice Department versus the full version of the affidavit, and then almost have kind of a line-by-line discussion of whether this information really ought to be concealed or withheld from the public with these redactions or sections blacked out. We could also be looking at a decision from the bench today, though legal experts say that's probably unlikely. There could be a written decision at a later date. And bottom line, whatever happens in court today, there's also a very good chance that the decision by the judge could be appealed to a higher court. So it doesn't end today. It's almost in some ways the beginning of this legal discussion.
You know, Scott, in other cases, we've all seen instances where the redactions of documents result in actually very little text being available for the public to consume. So the Justice Department has requested the ability in this case to provide redactions if the judge were to order a partial unsealing of the affidavit, one of the outcomes that Catherine mentioned. So how do the involved media companies feel about that proposal?
In their court filings, the media consortium expresses some openness to there being redactions, but this is another challenge. If you so significantly redact a document, you make it almost unintelligible or potentially misleading. So that's another complication the court will deal with this afternoon. But I also want to remind you of the parties involved here. There are at least 4 groups that have been pushing for this affidavit to be unsealed. Republicans in Congress, media organizations, some activist groups like Judicial Watch, which commonly fight for public records and are conservative in nature, and Trump. His team said they'd like to see this unsealed, this affidavit. But here's the thing. Only 2 of those 4 are in court pushing for it. The activist group Judicial Watch and the media organizations. If Donald Trump wants this affidavit unsealed, he doesn't have any skin in the game with court filings yet in Florida. He hasn't sent his team in there with court filings trying to force it open either. So he's saying that, but isn't really acting on it in court.
All right, a lot to follow here. Catherine Herridge and Scott MacFarlane, thank you very much. And we will continue to follow these developments and have much more throughout the afternoon.